Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about MB. No, let's get real here. I'm back, and
I feel like Voldemort.
let's talk about sex ed for all and why it's important. When I first hear sex ed for all, I think about intersectionality. If you're unsure as to what intersectionality could be, it's the interweaving between race, gender, identity, sexuality, and how they each play a role in our society. I always reflect on my days of teaching sex education at Planned Parenthood. One of the first things that comes to my mind is young people reflecting and talking about their own backgrounds, their own neighborhoods, growing up, what their schools offered as far as sex education went, and hearing everybody's different story really helped me get a different outlook. When I think of sex ed for all, the first thing that actually comes to my mind is low-income communities, and I immediately just go down a rabbit hole of how to offer comprehensive free sex education. I founded the We Won't Be Silenced campaign, which aims to destigmatize topics of reproductive health through storytelling as a junior in high school.
As a young person to have a say in my healthcare. Reality check, I do. Queer people, non-binary, transgender, agender, gender fluid folks, and many more are included in this conversation.
That was in part with Planned Parenthood during my internship there. I am currently hosting a web series on ending the stigma around these conversations, and I sat down, ate pizza with my friends. We're actually gonna have some of our friends join us on this topic, and we're all eating pizza on tape so that you guys could eat dinner with us. Catered towards YouTube, TikTok, so that young people could be exposed to sex education in a way where a group of young people are having these conversations right here, right now, in the present, updated 2022, just honest, vulnerable with each other. Because these are the conversations that we're having with our friends, in schools, at home, at sleepovers, at all of the above. We're all having these conversations, whether it's allowed or not, whether it's in school or not, lunch tables, sex ed for all, it's important. Right now, I think that what's working for sex education as someone who has graduated high school and now goes to college, where we talk about it so openly, and I'm very fortunate to have peers who do that. I think that teen health nights are the most beneficial. Also, anonymous Q&As, holding virtual Zoom meetings towards sex education, because people want to lie in their bed and watch a video, especially one that is shorter and keeps them engaged, because our generation has an attention span of about 1 to 3 minutes. I think that discussions around STIs and the misinformation around them is super vital right now. It's a conversation that I hear a lot of people having. Very important. At least once a year.
Spread the love of the virus. I would say not once a year, but with every new partner.
I've actually began noticing that people are more confidential with other people's shared sexual history after having sex education classes. It's as though people are gaining a stronger sense of their boundaries and other people's boundaries and making sure to acknowledge them. As for the future of sex education, I think that up-to-date how-to videos is one of the most important things right now. I made one about condom usage. So what we're gonna do is a little bit of a demonstration, and that started to spread. Even college kids, they didn't know. So that goes to show why we need to have these conversations starting from younger ages. Now teens turn to misinformed websites and porn.
When you watch porn, you think that you're supposed to have this 20-inch thing.
I think that the future of sex education is definitely on a virtual route. It tends to engage young people so much more.
We won't be silenced.
We won't be silenced.
We won't be silent.
We won't be silenced.
We won't be
We
silenced.
won't be silenced. We won't be silenced.
I was only 15.
The short shorts could dig my grave.
Sexual health education,
Menstruation.
Pleasure.
Birth control.
Black maternal health care,
Abortion.
Reproductive advocacy.
LGBTQIA experiences.
Domestic violence and sexual assault.
toxic masculinity,
HIV and STI.
The world without stigma around sexual health education would look
Safe.
Healthy.
Sexy.
Informed.
I never had sex education.
How are we expected to know how to have safe sex, explore our bodies, know about STDs? If it's stigmatized and we don't talk about it in schools and the information is not accessible.
I didn't learn much, which left me with a lot of questions. So I turned to the internet, which can be a very scary place.